Or we can start somewhere else.
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Go ahead. Oh, Councillor Pearson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I've got a few items this evening. I just want to bring to the residents' attention that on Friday, April the 18th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., the Stony Creek Lions Club will be having their pancake breakfast and Easter egg hunt with the Easter Bunny. It's going to be held at the Lions Hall, and residents can attend, call Lion Allison at 905-664-2208. And there's also a Lions and Paws open house that's going to be held Wednesday, April 23rd from 6 to 9 p.m. And you can learn more about the Lions Club and all the great work that they do. And I apologize, I'm just going to go back. With regards to the pancake breakfast and Easter egg hunt, actually the contact is Lion Linda, and she can be reached at 905-385-2071. And it will be pancakes and sausage, cost per child $4 and adults $6. So leave that. A few other things I know that I sent out in my newsletter this month in the Stony Creek News. It's Team Up to Clean Up Month, participating with Tim Hortons, and I'm just going to put a plug in for the website, encouraging residents to get out, clean up the neighborhoods. I'll just put a little bit in that this past weekend I had the opportunity of visiting the state of Georgia. I was in Atlanta, and wow, is it ever spotless. So I want to encourage our residents to get out, participate, and see how we can compete. Mind you, their trees are all in bloom. Their tulips are in bloom. It's absolutely gorgeous. But so the website is www.hamilton.ca/teamuptocleanup, or call 905-546-2489. And staff will be pleased to supply residents who wish to get out and participate with special litter and recycling bags, gloves, and graffiti wipes. So I encourage everyone, please don't hesitate to also call my offices if there's something that I can assist with or participate as well. And I'm at 905-973-7418 is my cell. Another opportunity is the City of Hamilton is holding their annual rain barrel truckload sale. That's on Saturday, April 26th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's at Mohawk College Fennel campus. And for a cost of $39.75 for a new barrel, $39.50 for a pre-repurposed barrel. Residents can obtain these, and they can take advantage of saving their rainwater off their gutters and using it for watering through the summer. There's more information that's in my newsletter, and they can also go to the city website, www.rainbarrel.ca/Hamilton. And again, another great bit of information, and I'm excited because this is something I've kind of kept my councillor colleagues aware of over the last number of months, and this is the SO Cup, Stony Creek Girls Hockey SO Cup, coming to Stony Creek Gateway Ice. The event will be kicking off April the 20th to the 26th. And you know, Mr. Mayor, we were in an event this morning where we had Laura Fortino from the Canadian Olympic Girls Hockey Team. She will be participating at the Gateway Ice for the SO Cup, because she actually started out with the Stony Creek Girls Hockey. So I'm really thrilled about that. This again was something that I worked on actually with the participants and with the Hockey Canada Association to bring the event here. And what it does is it allows our girls to be the host, being the host community, will be in the event. There will be 5 other teams across Canada, the top teams, and they will be playing. The final game will be televised by TSN on the Sunday. So I hope to be at every game, or as many games as possible, and certainly for the puck drop on the 20th. And I encourage everyone to get out. This is at Gateway Ice on the South Service Road and Fruitland Road. One more item, Mr. Mayor, and this is a little bit of a sadder one I just want to mention. It's a fundraiser that is will be going on. It'll be on Friday, April the 11th at 8 o'clock till midnight. It's a fundraiser for a good friend of mine whose daughter has been suffering from Lyme disease for several years. And the resident's name is Miss Goss, and her daughter Anita has been suffering from Lyme disease for many, many years. And unfortunately, it's not a recognized illness in Ontario, and they are lobbying the government to change the legislation so that she can get the assistance paid through Ontario health insurance here in Canada, but she can't at this point. So they are fundraising so that she can go to the States, somewhere in Florida, if I'm not mistaken, to get the help that she needs. So the fundraiser is being held at Knights of Columbus Hall at 222 Queenston Road, Hamilton. Again, Friday, April the 11th, 8 till 1 a.m. Tickets are $20. And you can call Francis at 905-388-0103 or Nancy at 905-662-6904. Donations can also be made at any CIBC branch to Anita Cost Trust Fund number 03-662-010-8593-183. And just as an aside, the show that evening will feature talents of Bobby Naffolk and Anthony Carboni as Tom Jones, and I think Bobby is Elvis impersonator. Kathy Carboni and Richard Wolf also as Elvis. So it should be an exciting evening. I'm going to do my best to get out there and assist in any way I can. I've contributed a door prize, so hopefully they will be able to raise some dollars and help Anita. Mr. Mayor, thank you. And if anyone's missed the phone numbers, they will be in my newsletter that's in the Stony Creek News this week. Thank you.
Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to give you a whole list of things very quickly, and then for all the details, just refer to my website, www.brendajohnson.ca. We have 2 cleanups coming up this Saturday. One's in Winona at the Community Park from 9 to 12. The other one's in Mount Hope, and it's from 1 to 4. And the one in Bimbrook is actually on April the 27th at 1:30 at the fairgrounds. Also this Saturday, Wesley United Church in Fruitland is having their Easter Bunny Brunch, and it's $8, and it's from 11 to 2. So also on April the 15th, the Fruitland-Winona Secondary Plan is coming to the Planning Committee. We have Easter egg hunts that you must register at. April the 18th, Good Friday, we have one in Bimbrook and one in Mount Hope. The one in Mount Hope actually has a pancake breakfast that is put on by the Lions Club, and that's from 8 to 11. So in Winona, we have our Easter egg hunt on the Saturday following. Bimbrook Little Theatre is performing Perfect Wedding, and it's starting at April the 19th to May the 3rd. And also on April the 26th, pancake breakfast at Christ Church in Woodburn at 9 o'clock. It's to 12. This is to raise money for the Erland Lee Museum. And the great news is the Federal Women's Institute of Ontario are going to pack up all their bags in Guelph and move into the museum. So now we sustain the museum. It's now in good hands, and it's safe, and it's great to go. And the last thing is, on April the 26th, Case United Church is having all-you-can-eat spaghetti dinner. Again, refer to my website, and you'll get more details. Thank you, sir.
Councillor Ferguson. Councillor Pasuda.
Thank you, Mayor Bettina. First of all, I'd like to say we had our play in Rockton, our dinner theatre, 6 nights, very successful, and I know you were there with your wife, Carol.
Yep.
And I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, you were great.
I was good, thank you. So yeah, lots of comments on that one. On March the 30th at the Strabane Church, we had an ARC meeting there. Some of the residents parents of children going to be proper here, going to Millgrove School, which is in Councillor Partridge's ward, and if she wants to speak to that, had a good meeting down there, good transfer of information back and forth, and a good working group that night. So that's trying to keep Millgrove School open. So both Councillor Partridge and I are working that. I represented you, Mr. Mayor, at the TO 2015's Municipal Forum in Royal Botanical Gardens last Friday, and opened it up there and spoke of our city. The Heritage Awards in Ancaster, Councillor Ferguson's ward the other night on April the 7th at the Old Ancaster Town Hall, and once again, Mayor Bettina, your wife, and yourself were there.
We were.
And you made did presentations and lots of pictures, so you've got yourself out there and got very good on that. And Councillor Ferguson hosted that at for the Heritage Awards, so that was well done. It was a good night. I attended the Rockton Lions meeting last night in Rockton with our school trustee for wards 14 and 15, Karen Turkstra. Because of the closing of schools in West Flamborough, where they're looking at one of the potential sites is the Beverly Community Center, where the ice rink is there, to build a school there. So Karen and I met last night with the Lions, about 50 of them and their Lions group, to present what our thoughts are and what the vision is for some of the parents on the art committee. So we did that. Farming out there is late this year. We still got a lot of frost in the ground. Even at my place, I have to go and move snow on the weekend because I still got piles of snow banks back to my equipment shed, so I got to move some snow. Hopefully more of it will melt. It's going to be a difficult spring, or it's going to be later for a lot of the farming products coming on, asparagus and things like that. It'll be later. So hopefully that'll work out. Getting calls about the trees that are still down in people's yards. We've got a lot over in Greensville that haven't been picked up. If they phone it in, but I'm on the radar right now to get out there, and I'm going to go have a tour in the next 2 days to see if we can try to move them off the lawns. What's going to happen with a lot of the manicured lawns, a lot of the trees piled up is going to kill the grass off. We don't want to see that happen out there. And the last thing, on Wednesday, April the 16th at Copetown Community Center, the Share Agriculture Foundation is having a dinner. And the funds from this that focuses on Central and South America, and it's for guidance, expertise in agriculture to teach those communities how to grow their food. And it's a good cause, and I'm going to be there. So, and I'd like to thank everyone for the opportunity to be Deputy Mayor for the month of April.
Right, more to come. Councillor Partridge.
More to come. Yes, and thank you to Councillor Pasuta for raising that community meeting that we had with the Mill Grove parents. And they're starting to rally and come together. And we will be looking to be here on April the 29th April the 29th here at City Hall Council Chambers for the school board. That will be the evening for delegations for the West Flamborough Arc. And I encourage everyone across the city to consider attending all of the delegation nights for different arcs across the city, because I think it's really important that we show good support to all of our residents that are subject to schools being closed. And I know the Mill Grove parents, they're in shock, but they are coming together, and we are going to work very strongly with them. Also want to mention that the Carlisle Optimists are having their Easter egg hunt on the 19th of Saturday, and it will be at 11 a.m. They do it a little different. They have the little ones that are aged 2 to 6 go out first and collect the eggs. And then a couple of minutes later, they let the others, different age groups, go out. So the little ones aren't being run over, and candy isn't being picked up or kicked farther, or some of the other shenanigans that take place. Then everyone's invited to bring their own decorated basket to help pick up the goodies that are on the ground. And the whole thing's usually over within 20 minutes, but it's a really good time. Wear your rubber boots. We have an awful lot of flooding throughout my ward, and I know throughout Councillor Pasuta's as well. The rivers are backing up to the point where we had crews out on Carlisle Road for 3 or 4 nights. They were dredging and digging up and laying in big pipe and trying to get the water, which had gone right across Carlisle Road, and it was extremely dangerous. Crews did a great job, and I just, I want to say, with all of the storm damage that we've had, what I am hearing from residents more and more, especially over the last couple of weeks, is what a fabulous job they've done. The residents just think it is absolutely wonderful that they can still put all of the debris out at the end of their driveway. The crews are coming by. They're working 6 days a week. Even Saturday afternoon when they were going down the concessions and through the surveys, the residents were out thanking them, shaking their hands, and just they have nothing but top marks for the cleanup that's happening, particularly in Flamborough. And I know you don't usually get a lot of accolades from Flamborough, so I just wanted to pass that on. And please pass it on to the crew. And lastly, Knox Church, that's located on Mill Street, and Church in Waterdown. They're having their weekly Saturday morning breakfast. It's every Saturday. It's from 8:30 until 10:30. All you can eat. We get a couple of hundred people that come out. Many of us are regulars, and invite everyone to drop in and say hi to the folks. Thank you.
Is there any maple syrup out your way, by the way?
Yeah, actually the maple syrup is running. They need cold nights and warm sunny days to actually get the sap running. It's way behind this year. I would say it's probably 2 to 3 weeks behind. So the sap will be running. A lot of the maple trees, the sap is running. In the storm damage where the maple trees were split, they can actually bleed to death, because the maple syrup is just running out, and when the trees are split, there's nothing to stop that maple syrup, and it really does a lot of damage to the trees. So good news and bad news on that.
I know I was jogging through there, and I heard somebody yell out, "The sap is running," so I thought the maple syrup. And Councillor Jackson.
Oh, I pulled that out of the drawer of the radio days. Okay, very good, Mr. Mayor.
Just practicing.
Mr. Mayor, following on the Easter egg hunt theme, of course, Chris Eklund and his volunteers usually donate close to 100,000 eggs across about 20 different neighborhood parks across the city. So look for them on Chris Eklund's website. Come the Good Friday and Easter Monday, Easter weekend, which is starting April the 18th, Good Friday, through to Monday, April 21st. Also, specifically on Good Friday, April 18th, Easter egg hunt, Mountain Kids Club, Kathy Archer and her great group of volunteers will have an Easter egg hunt from 11:30 in the morning to 4 p.m. specifically at Mountain Drive Park, which is at the corner of Upper Gauge and Concession. Kathy Archer, thank you so much for what you do as one of the purest of purest volunteers. Mr. Mayor, also there's a fundraising dinner on Friday, June 6th. It's a fundraising evening at the Hamilton Firefighters Banquet Hall. Now, Laura Jean Falla and her sister Nancy Reevy have sent this to me quickly. Last summer, when there was a major thunderstorm, Emmanuel House, run by Good Shepherd Centers, had some flooding. They didn't have a generator. And so they realized with all the palliative care patients and those vulnerable patients and residents of Emmanuel House, something needed to be done to hopefully avoid and prevent that kind of situation in the future. On Friday, June 6th, $20 a person from 8 p.m. to midnight. They're holding this fundraiser at the Firefighters Banquet Hall on Dartnell Road, just south of Rymal Road. All proceeds money raised will go for buying a generator for Emmanuel House. And Laura Jean Falla you can reach her at 905-393-4221. That's 393-4221. And Mr. Mayor, to the thousands of members of our Jewish community, blessed Passover from my office and I, and to the thousands upon thousands of Christians, happy Easter over the next 10 days. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Collins.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I have 4 community cleanups that planned again this year, similar to last year. First one's at Davis Creek. It's at Green Hill Park, Saturday, April 26th, from 9 till 12. It's on Green Hill Avenue next to Quigley Road. The next one I have is the Beach Community Cleanup. It'll be held at the Beach Rescue Unit on Saturday, May the 3rd from 9 to 12. That's at 316 Beach Boulevard. The third community cleanup I have is Rosedale, in the Rosedale community at Rosedale Arena, 100 Green Hill Avenue, Saturday, May the 3rd from 12 until 2:30. And the last one I have is Riverdale Community Cleanup. It's at Warden Park, 55 Lake Avenue North, Saturday, May the 10th from 9 until 12 noon.
Is that it? Okay, Councillor Marula. Councillor Farr.
Thank you. Just some past events. The PVW2 2014 launch party where we met our facilitator, saw a great crowd last week here in council chambers. A lot of people looking forward to participating and submitting ideas in this citizen-led engagement and empowerment exercise. I'm looking very much forward to the next few months. St. Lawrence at the Martyr Parish, the Easter ham and turkey roll. Well done, Mo Scally from the Ward 2 office. I know you like to watch council. 2 turkeys, 1 ham, and 1 LCBO gift certificate, all in 1 turkey roll. She's always lucky, and me not so much, but what a great time in the North End. Conservation Restoration of Hamilton Built Heritage, they had that last evening or the evening before at the Workers' Arts and Heritage, and it was an overwhelming success. 60 plus, I'm here, we're on the waiting list, so they were very much at capacity, and it was a great educational night brought to you by all the neighborhood associations here in Ward 2, and there's no corner of the ward that's not covered by an NA. Tomorrow night, live music and art sale. The Paparella Innovative Art Program goes at the Freeway Cafe. I'll be there, and I'm looking forward to it. Volunteer Hamilton is celebrating its 16th annual Community Builders Breakfast at Michael Angelo's, calling for 1,200 youth to contribute 3,600 hours tomorrow in the Change the World Ontario Youth Challenge. That's in participation with a provincial exercise. Thursday, April the 10th, it's Suicide Prevention Community Council's Blarney 6.93 kilometer walk or run at Bayfront. It's $50. You get a great shirt with that. Registration at 4:30, and it's limited to 500 runners. The Catholic Women's League Easter Bake Sale goes at St. Lawrence on Palm Sunday, right after the 10:30 Mass. April the 26th, 11 to 7, the Friends of Haiti Food Truck event at Ferguson Station. That's a first-time event. It will be fun. Monday, April the 28th, 6:30 to 9:30, the Barton Tiffany Urban Design Study at Leuna Station. This is a public consultation, and it's the second go-round there at the King George Ballroom. Art crawl this Friday, and finally I want to thank everybody for their patience, their understanding, and their appreciation of our transit-only lane pilot. Obviously, as noted earlier today in council, we did hit a lull this winter. We had some fading paint we weren't able to enforce in a timely fashion, but it's all back on track in a matter of days. This, of course, was supported by the majority of our council as it related to our unanimous support of the Rapid Ready Plan. Page 34 talked about the TO lane, where we have it installed now. I want to thank International Village BIA. I was at their AGM after installation, valuable input, and a large majority of business people in favor. The Downtown BIA, after installation, reporting positive results early on. And the King West BIA, I will admit, that's 2 blocks, Caroline to Queen. I surveyed all of Bay through to Queen before we voted on this, and as you'll recall, the stats showed, and there was lots of staff that were with me that day to verify, about 18 to 25 business owners and managers were in favor. A lot of them speaking to making moves, progressive moves that benefit the downtown and the city as a whole. There's been a tough adjustment since that survey was done, no doubt about it. Since the implementation, the King West BIA AGM did see about 6 businesses present. All were having difficulty with this change because change is difficult for some. They were most affected because their parking moved across the street, and it was difficult, and I continue to work with them and gather their input, and their input is very important to me and to all of the staff and the folks who are working hard on this pilot that was endorsed by the Mayor and Council. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor McHattie.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor, and you and I and Councillor Clark and Councillor Pearson were present at the Hamilton and Halton Homebuilders Association breakfast this morning, and we were there to hear from the new president of the HHBA, Nando De Caria, and he spoke eloquently, I thought, for about 15 minutes. He was in a difficult spot because Laura Fortino was also there, our great Canadian Olympic hockey player, the women's Olympic hockey player, and her presentation was just outstanding. As she had a great slide presentation and a number of incredible quotes, inspirational quotes about teamwork and extraordinary wording from her, and a sense of the 9 months that they spent to the women's Olympic hockey team preparing for the Olympics, and then just what it was like through the series right into to the end of the game and how it was won. And Mr. Mayor, you described specifically Laura's coolness under pressure. To everybody's yelling, as you said, for her to shoot, and she passed it off to the person that was exactly in the position to put the puck in the net. So it was extraordinary to hear her. I hope she puts up some of that material she shared this morning on her website or somewhere that all of us can see it, because it was quite extraordinary. The second item I have is one of my constituents, Eric Bombaka, is a proud member of the Amalgamated Transit Union here in Hamilton, our own ATU, the bus drivers and HSR folks. And today they were celebrating the International Day of Pink. And that's a day to talk about the importance of diversity and anti-bullying in particular. Anti-bullying was the focus they had this morning. They were at the McNabb Street bus terminal this morning, and they were handing out flowers to people, pink flowers to all sorts of folks, men and women, and sharing that message of diversity. And I just wanted to show the T-shirt that they provided to people celebrating diversity, the Day of Pink, the ATU folks this morning, and talking about the importance of acceptance, tolerance, and understanding, building that as a community. And they were really proud to be the first union in Hamilton to bring that message forward and writ large this morning at 7 o'clock, starting at 7 o'clock this morning, down at the McNabb Street terminal. So I think we can be very proud of our ATU folks, and I told them I would mention it tonight because it was, I think, pretty extraordinary leadership on their part, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. I'll be quick. I attended the gathering of the island regiments from all over Canada, at the Armories this past Friday night, and it was a really incredible. There was hardly anybody from Hamilton there, except for, of course, our own Argyles and Rick Kennedy and Lawrence Hatfield and others. But Hamilton really has a commanding presence among the Highland units, even from England. We had Sergeant Stuart Young, and he couldn't get over the authenticity and the fact that there were cut glass servings at every of the 70 table settings. And he was so envious of that. So we have a very special presence in our city of our garrison, of our regiments, and so on. So that was fun. And I'm going to rush now because I got to be up at 7:30 in the morning to go to the volunteers event, the community building event. So, Councillor Pasuta, I need a motion on the bills list.
Yes, Mayor Bertina, moved by myself and second by